Welcome to a deep dive into the algorithmic foundations of connectivity. Today, we are exploring the minimum spanning tree, or MST. This is one of the most fundamental problems in computer science. How do we connect a set of points, be they servers, cities, or transistors, using the least amount of wire possible, without creating any redundant loops?
Let's start with a formal definition. For a connected, undirected graph G, our goal is to select a subset of edges that connects every vertex with the minimum total cost. This forms a tree with exactly n-1 edges. It is important to note, if the graph is disconnected, meaning some nodes are isolated, we cannot form a single tree. Instead, the solution is a minimum spanning forest, consisting of a tree for each separate component.
Interestingly, this problem predates modern computers. In 1926, Otakar Boruvka formulated the first solution for Moravian electricity networks. Wojtek Jarnik then published the first vertex-centric approach in 1930. Decades later, Joseph Kruskal introduced his edge-merging method in 1956, followed closely by Robert Prim in 1957, who rediscovered and popularized Jarnik's earlier work.
Before we code, we must understand the math. MST algorithms work because of specific properties of matroid theory, specifically the cut and cycle properties. These properties justify why greedy choices, making the locally best decision, lead to the globally optimal result.
The most powerful tool in our arsenal is the cut property. Imagine drawing a line, or cut, that splits the graph into two separate groups. The theorem states that the crossing edge with the strictly lowest weight must be part of the minimum spanning tree. Crucially, if edge weights are not unique, this edge is guaranteed to belong to at least one valid MST.
Conversely, we have the cycle property, which tells us what to exclude. If you find a loop or cycle and one edge is strictly heavier than all other edges in that specific circle, it is useless. We can safely discard it immediately. However, if the heaviest weight is shared by multiple edges, we must be careful not to discard all of them.
Now let's look at Prim's algorithm. Think of Prim's as a mold or a virus spreading out from a single starting point. It grows one continuous tree, node by node. The process is sequential. We start at an arbitrary root node. We then look at the frontier, all the edges connecting our current tree to the outside world. We pick the cheapest edge, add that new node to our territory, and then update our list of potential next moves. We repeat this until every node is captured.
Prim's efficiency depends entirely on the data structure used to track the next best edge. With a simple matrix, it runs in big O of v squared, which is actually optimal for dense graphs. For sparse graphs, a binary heap is better, running in big O of e log v. Theoretically, using a complex Fibonacci heap brings this down to nearly linear time relative to edges.
Kruskal's algorithm takes a different approach. Instead of growing one tree, it treats every node as a separate island and builds bridges everywhere at once. It's like assembling a puzzle by connecting the closest pieces first.
The algorithm is elegant. First, we sort every edge in the entire graph from lightest to heaviest. Then we iterate through this list. For each edge, we ask, does this connect two previously unconnected components? If yes, we add it. If no, meaning they are already connected, we discard it to avoid a cycle.
The magic behind Kruskal's speed is the disjoint set union data structure. By using optimizations called path compression and union by rank, the time it takes to check if two nodes are connected becomes effectively constant. The complexity involves the inverse Ackermann function, alpha, which grows so slowly that for any graph smaller than the physical universe, the value is at most 4.
While Prim and Kruskal are famous, Boruvka's algorithm is making a comeback in the age of parallel computing and GPUs.
Boruvka's method is a hybrid. In each round, every single connected component simultaneously finds its cheapest outgoing edge. This can be done in parallel across thousands of processor cores. This drastically reduces the number of components by half each round, making it incredibly fast for distributed systems.
So which one should you choose? If your graph is dense, like a fully connected network, Prim's algorithm with an adjacency matrix is unbeatable. If the graph is sparse, Kruskal is often preferred for its simplicity and cache efficiency.
And if you are processing massive graphs on a cluster, Boruvka is the king of parallelism.
Finally, let's look at how MSTs solve problems far beyond simple wiring.
A major application is approximating the metric traveling salesman problem. This specific variation assumes the triangle inequality, meaning a direct path is always the shortest. The Christophanides algorithm uses an MST as a skeleton to guarantee a solution within 1.5 times the optimal length. Note that for general, non-metric TSP, this approximation is impossible.
In machine learning, MSTs are used for single linkage clustering. By simply cutting the most expensive edges of the tree, we naturally separate data into distinct, non-spherical clusters. In computer networking, the spanning tree protocol runs constantly in the background of Ethernet switches, disabling links to prevent data loops that would otherwise crash the network.